I sat down with a Hollywood producer, and she had such great advice, because I was going through the, what do I want to do with my life? What do I want to do with my life? And she goes, stop. She goes, don't ask yourself, what do I want to do with my life? Ask yourself, how do I want to spend my days? Because the first question is so crippling. It's just so overwhelming. Your life, that's a long time. But how do I want to spend my days? What do I want to do day after day? It's far more empowering. And she's getting to the concept of craft. Adapting your mindset, again, coming back to mindset. What I could have used at P&G, besides an assistant, was an attitude adjustment. I wish I would have heard this at the time, because there's a comedian named Robert Hawkins, and he talked about this. He talked about how comedians will do stand-up for free. I would do this talk for free. I would do stand-up comedy for free. I love speaking in front of people. This is my favorite thing in the world to do. I love doing it. I do it for free. You're paying me for the travel. You're paying me for the opportunity cost, because right now I can't go on auditions. I can't write my packet that I'm submitting to the late night shows. I can't go do stand-up at the comedy clubs. I'm here and I can't be somewhere else. I want to be here, but he doesn't mean cover my travel. That's different, okay? Let's say there's a sack of money in the middle of the desert somewhere, okay? The Gobi Desert. How many dollars have to be in that sack for you to go get it, right? I'm gonna cover your travel. I'll pay for your flight, your meals, whatever. But if there's $5 in that bag, there's no way you're going, right? How much money has to be in that bag? Is it $5,000? Is it $15,000? Is it $50,000? And by the way, while you're there, here's a microphone, you can do a show. I'll do the show for free. That's not the issue. The issue is we all have jobs, and there are parts of the job that we love, and there are parts of the job that we don't love. And when I worked in marketing, I loved doing focus groups. It was so much fun. But I kind of hated doing my expense reports. I hate doing expense reports. And so you have to remember that you're getting paid to do the part of the job you hate. That's the way I started to think of it. I get to do this. Because I remember saying to my roommate at the time, my roommate for 2 years in LA was Hassan Minhaj, if you can believe that or not. He lived with me for 2 years in Studio City, a little more than 2 years. And right before him was this aerospace engineer, Brett Northcutt, who was a white version of Hassan. They were both tall, big hair, very good looking, and my gay brother is like, what is up with your hot roommates? Can I move in with you? But Brett would say this to me too. I remember I said to him once, I'm like, I gotta go to the gym. He goes, don't say I have to go to the gym. You get to go to the gym. You get to go to the gym. You have the time, you have the money, you can afford it, you have working legs, and it's going to inform your entire workout. If you work that way, like I gotta do this, you're not gonna lift as much as if you go, I get to do this. So next time you're going through part of your job and you're like, man, I really don't like this, remember that that is why you get paid to do the job. Otherwise you would do that for free. I actually interned at Wright Pat Air Force Base. I was doing fatigue testing and creep testing and all that stuff, and creep testing took months to do. You weren't getting results. It was very linear. And for a lot of the job, I was quite bored. I got to be quite honest. I enjoyed parts of it, but a lot of it was like, oh my gosh, what time is this? And Chris Rock talked about that, where he goes, there's a difference between a job and a career. When you have a job, there's too much time. When you have a career and you have all your projects, there's not enough time. You look down, you're like, it's 4 o'clock already? My gosh, I haven't even started. I just got out of my meetings. When you have a job, you're like, it's only 9:15. And I realized, though, the pain point for me was between 2 and 4 p.m., my speaking slot right now. That's why it's hard. I'm like, okay, after lunch, before this is a tough slot, right? But I was like, this is what's really difficult, is between 2 and 4. I realized in the morning I was fine. I'm more of a night person than a morning person, and night people have it better, right? Because your day gets better as it goes. Morning people, sorry, the best part of your day is over. Mine's just getting going, okay? Mine's getting going. It's getting better, But I realized the morning wasn't that hard. It was actually pretty interesting, the things we were doing. Lunch was fun, of course, and then we're leaving at 5 o'clock. So by the time you get to 4, you're fine. You have about another hour, 45 minutes, you're good. But between 2 and 4, I was dying. I was like, this is really tough. I'm like, okay, then at 2 o'clock, I'm gonna go to the vending machine, I'm gonna get a Coca-Cola, and at 3 o'clock, I'm gonna go get a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. And that got me through that period of 2 to 4. And I realized, I don't really hate my life. I just hate 2 hours times 5. I hate 10 hours of my life every week. And that made me go, oh my God, I don't have it that bad. I thought that was really, really helpful. It put me in a much, much better state. Okay, I'm going through this thing this year where I'm drinking for only 12 nights of the entire year. It's pretty difficult between like 6 and 8 p.m., but if I get to a party and it turns 9 o'clock, I don't really need to drink anymore. I'm done, I'm fine, I'm good. So I realized that if I could just maybe think of the day in parts, instead of saying, oh my God, I'm having a terrible day. No, maybe I had a terrible morning, but the afternoon doesn't necessarily have to be so bad.